Welcome to week 6. Week 5 was a little intense. Everybody thought that they were doing pretty good, and turns out everybody did incredible.
Yes.
Well, almost everybody. It was the highest median in the history of dynasty leagues that we've competed in of all time. 138. You got to be real good to beat that median.
Yeah, a score of 142 was the last median score to get that W. That belongs to our elder Bo right there, and
Squeaking in.
it's 2 weeks in a row now, man. We've been the last, median in. So
Yeah.
you're walking the edge there.
I'm just right there, walking the edge at 142 points. But after that week, top four teams are within 1 week of each other, moving around. So there's no telling what's going to happen after.
I think we do need to talk about some QB performances, though, because Lamar Jackson, he went Super Saiyan, 59 points, point something. Justin Herbert, 59 points, point something. Yep. Tom Brady had like 54 points, I think. That's some insane quarterback plays. Luckily, Herbert was on the bench, so that sucked. But otherwise, we would have had 3 players get in the new top 10 all-time individual scores. So that's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, even though Herbert was on the bench, all 3 teams that have those, never mind, you lost.
Yeah, that was a fun joke.
Going into last week's matchups, Chase able to beat Aaron, going 30 points higher than that 130 range that he was used to. Went lower the week before, higher this week. Gets the top score of 160 and beats Aaron's second highest score of the week at 154. That's unfortunate for him.
Aaron had to feel around Tom Brady, as Kevin mentioned earlier. The quarterbacks went nuclear this week, and so unfortunate. And Chase had a he had a running back get 16 points on one play too, so that also helps with the win. And crazy.
Garrett versus Alex. Garrett able to get the win over Alex at 124 points. Unfortunately, still doesn't get that median since it's the highest median of our history. And Alex back under triple digits.
Crazy for Garrett hitting 124 with Herbert on the bench, who had 59.
Yep.
So he gets that fun decision of, do I start Dak, do I start Herbert? And he'll pick wrong every week because that's how fantasy works.
We had me versus Colt. I was able to pull out the victory. As Jacob said, the last team over the median.
I was close on my prediction, though, because last week I said you were going to go 2-0 and Colt was going to go 1-1. And if it had been a normal week with a 133 score, I think Colt would have hit the median. But this week, you barely hit the median. So
Exactly. Chris versus Coop. Coop is all out on trying to be the number 1 KC fan, I guess. He just gets crushed by Chris by 60 points, over 60 points, 151 to 89. Wasn't even close.
Yeah, Coop has definitely set his sights on not this year, potentially not next year.
Maybe
I don't
not.
really know where his sights are set, but it's definitely not winning.
It's got a 5-year plan.
5-step plan.
Yep. And then the last one, Kev versus Jacob. Elder matchup. Jacob able to pull it out, 147 to Kevin's 128. Got the 2-0 versus the 0-2. It is unfortunate.
Yep. All right, and then we're going to go into week 6 matchups. So we're going to start off with a pretty opposite matchup. We got Alex and Chris. Chris is 9-1, Alex 0-10. It's not been a great year for Alex. He is paying attention, he is trying, but his team's just not pulling through for him. Chris, title defense, going great, sitting in that number 1 spot, tied with a couple other folks. He's pretty much having a dream season so far.
Yeah, and last week we said he was in the battle of the opposites against Coop, who was number 9 in the league, and now he's going against number 10 in the league, number 1 versus number 10. He's these 2 weeks really in the sweet spot as long as no Alex Apocalypse.
Yeah, I guess we have 2 natural disasters coming for each other. We got the Christastrophe, we got the Alex Apocalypse. We got to see which one shows up this week. Then moving on to our next matchup, another. We said last week it would be a good matchup for Garrett to get some wins. Rings true again. Garrett versus Coop, 3-7 versus 1-9. Garrett had a strong performance last week, just didn't get the median because everyone else went nuclear.
Yeah.
That most likely won't happen again. If you hit that 125 range, pretty much every week you're going to get a good win or at least the median. Some weeks apparently not the case, but for I'd say 80% of the time you'll be a solid team if you just hit 125 every week.
Yeah, if you hit 125, you're gonna walk away most like 99% of the time with one win, if not two. Garrett has a good chance to go 2-0 this week again, especially if Herbert does the same thing, because I'm pretty sure he's starting him this week.
Yeah.
You cannot not start him after last week. And
it's crazy how Dak is going to score 70 this week.
Yeah.
We've got Kev versus Aaron. I'm coming off the 0-2. Aaron's coming off the 1-1 with the second highest, but losing to the highest. Always sucks when that happens.
Yep.
Despite all of that, we're only separated by a half game, 6-4 versus 7-3. I'm looking to get back on track. My season's been very up and down. I score either a bajillion or 0.
Yep.
Aaron's been pretty consistent overall. He scores right around 140 to 150 most weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see if this is the battle of consistency, or am I going to go nuclear for like the 4th time this year?
Yeah, and you guys aren't just like a half game separated. You're less than a point separated on points for. So you guys have been. Well, I mean, yes, you are a back and forth, but average wise, you guys are neck and neck. So it does matter which Kevin shows up this week.
Yeah, because honestly, Aaron has stuck in that 130 to 155 range. Kevin has never hit in that range. He's always above that or below that, so it's not going to be a close game, I don't think.
Then moving on, we got another playoff implication matchup. We got Bo versus Chase. Bo's currently tied for first. Chase 7-3, having a really strong season. Like we were saying earlier, Chase has been very consistent this year. The longest time he was averaging between 125 and 130. Last week he's coming off a 160-point game. So you got your work cut out for you this week.
I mean, I would if the game wasn't canceled this week. Unfortunately, seeing as I have 10 players on IR or labeled as out, and a bonus of Alvin Kamara being on bye, we're just going to go ahead and skip over this week. We both just take the bye week. I'm pretty sure Chase said he was cool with it, so we're good.
Yeah.
I forged his signature on the contract.
And then moving on, we've got our C versus C matchup. I know everyone's like, wait, we're not going to get a CVC? Wrong. Jacob has decided to go by his middle name this week, so he's Cole this week.
Yep.
So we got Cole versus Colt with a T. 5-5 Jacob, 3-7 Cole. They're sitting right there at the edge. This could be the one that catapults him into that playoff area.
Yeah, I was able to take that 6th spot from Colton last week. But now I'm facing him, and Nick Chubb's out, so he's pissed. Kareem Hunt, by himself, and we'll see how he does. Last year, I'm hoping sticks true, where he actually does worse without Nick Chubb. But I'm not sure. Both those guys have been lights out this year.
I mean, just the fact that Colt likes that 6th spot and then he's out of it, he would already be pissed. But the fact that it's you and he gets to play you this week, that's rough, man. He's coming for you. He wants that 6th spot back. All right, that's pretty much all we got for you for week 6 of Respect Your Elders. It's looking like a pretty solid week coming up, if I do say so myself. So
yeah, this year's been fun. I've been a lot closer. You really don't know who's gonna win each week, and it's been very entertaining. And I'm hoping it stays like this for years to come.
Hopefully, as long as I'm on top.
Yeah. Second place, let's go. So guys, have you ever edged before? Because listen, there's Body Armor Edge, and what this is, it doesn't just hydrate you, it also has caffeine, so it energizes you. So it brings you right to the edge, right to the breaking point where you're just edging, you're just I'm almost there, and boom, hydrated, you're energized. And Power Punch is a great flavor. I recommend it. So go out there, buy some Body Armor Edge.